Metabolic health has always been a passion of mine because I don't want to die young like my entire biological family did. When I was 15 years old, I found out that my biological mother had passed away at 49 years old from a heart attack. Now, thankfully, I had been adopted as an infant and I never actually knew my biological family. But this news brought on additional medical history of my family, that my biological father had also died and many other family members had as well, all from heart disease. Now, some had lived a little bit longer, but even they had heart attacks, and several of them had undergone multiple bypass surgeries. All in all, the women tended to die younger than 50 years old, and the men died younger than 70. Now, as a teenager, this all fascinated me, but it really didn't start sinking in that I could go down that same path until about my mid-20s, when I realized that half of my life was already over if I followed their same path. This was not okay with me, so I started learning everything I could, and nutrition and lifestyle strategies became a primary focus of mine to prevent future heart attacks. The top diseases causing death around the world are heart disease, stroke, respiratory diseases, cancer, Alzheimer's and dementia, diabetes, and kidney diseases. Most of these diseases are directly controlled by metabolic health. Now, this is great news because it means we have a lot of control over those disease developments and their prevention. Now, back to my story a little bit. In my mid-20s, when I had this realization, I knew I had to make a change. I was at least 30 pounds overweight, had no physical strength. My face was covered in acne, I was tired all the time, and the testing that I had done through my medical provider showed that the damage was already being done to my arteries and tissues. In fact, one assessment showed that my arteries were 13 years older than my chronological age. So I started doing what we've all heard about. I started exercising more and paying more attention to what I was eating. I lost the 30 pounds and completely changed my body, like many of us can do in our 20s. We can get away with a lot when we're young. But fast forward a few more years, and in my mid-30s, still on the same path and now eating a super clean, nearly fully vegetarian diet, things started changing. My muscles were chronically stiff. I started gaining weight without making any dietary or lifestyle changes. I was bloated all the time, and I just didn't feel well at all. So I studied with several nutritionists and functional medicine providers and discovered that part of my problem was I was completely stuck in a rut. I was literally eating the exact same foods for breakfast, snacks, and lunch every single day with very little difference in dinners either, and at the same time and in the same portions. It was easy, it was convenient, and it seemed to work until it didn't. My body, after following the same plan for so long, had essentially stopped adapting. I never gave it any challenges. And just like exercising our muscles, we need variety in our diets and our lifestyle to keep the body guessing and adapting. Now, I also had nutrient deficiencies. I wasn't eating enough protein or enough healthy fats. I was lacking essential amino acids and fat-soluble vitamins. And one other significant problem was I was eating all day long. Literally from 5 a.m. when I got up, every couple of hours until 9 or 10 p.m. Now remember, I was eating nearly an all-vegetarian diet, low in protein, low in fat. That meant I was eating nearly all carbohydrates. Now, even healthy carbohydrates like vegetables and fruits cause blood sugar spikes, and eating all day long meant I had elevated blood sugars and insulin levels all day long. But I had to be eating all day long because I was completely stuck as a sugar burner due to those elevated insulin levels. Insulin prevents fat burning and reduces the capacity to burn stored glycogen too. So this makes you feel hungry all the time. And I was hungry all the time. I could tell you what time of day it was based on my stomach growling. When I learned more about diet variation and cyclical ketosis, intermittent fasting, and even more about taking great care of my gut health, things turned around for me. Here I am in my early 40s. I have no bloating. I have effortless weight loss and weight loss maintenance. I have sustainable energy all day long, regardless of how intensely I work out or even if I skip workouts. I am finally totally in touch with the true signals of my body, and I have freedom from needing to obsess over food all the time. I no longer pack or carry snacks with me everywhere I go, and I don't have to try to pre-plan my day to ensure that I have access to food to keep me going. This is true health, and I want the same for you.